And it came to pass that the Pharaoh declared that all newborn Hebrew male children should be killed. The infant Moses is set afloat on the Nile to escape the Pharaoh's evil decree. As Yocheved and Miriam watch from the bulrushes, Pharaoh's daughter rescues the infant from the Nile. She adopts him as her own and names him Moses, which means drawn from the water. While Moses grows to adulthood within Pharaoh's palace, the Hebrews toil, labor, and slave under Pharaoh's harsh watch. One day, when Moses was grown, he saw an Egyptian beating someone. It was a fellow Israelite. Moses struck down the Egyptian. He thought there were no witnesses. With his killing of the Egyptian and his heritage now known to all, even Pharaoh, Moses flees into the wilderness and the land of Midian. In Midian, Moses tended sheep, married Zipporah, and had 2 sons, Gershon and Eleazar. He was content, but a stranger in a strange land. One day Moses came upon an amazing sight, a bush that blazed but wasn't burnt. God's voice called out from the fire, commanding Moses to go to Pharaoh and demand he free the Israelites. Moses was a changed man after his experience at the burning bush. He gathered his family and began the journey back to Egypt and Pharaoh. At Pharaoh's palace, Moses presents his one non-negotiable. Pharaoh refused to free the Israelites. Then God told Moses to make it clear to Pharaoh that if he didn't let the Israelites go, the Egyptians would be afflicted with 10 terrible plagues. Pharaoh was unmoved. The plagues included blood, frogs, lice, wild beast, animal disease, boils, hail, locusts, and darkness. Still, Pharaoh was not moved until the final plague, death of the firstborn. Now that Pharaoh has let the people go, the former Hebrew slaves celebrate their freedom by quickly beginning their journey out of Egypt. Moses leads the way. Regretting his decision to let the Israelites go, Pharaoh summons the commanders of his charioteers and soldiers. Pharaoh's troops caught up to the Israelites. Trapped between the troops and the Red Sea, the people despair until God sends a strong wind to part the seas. The water stood like walls as the Israelites passed between them. When the Egyptians charged after, the walls of water crashed down and Pharaoh's army drowned. The Israelites were safe on dry land, but they weren't home yet. The children of Israel came to the wilderness of Sinai and camped. Moses has gone up the mountain to receive the commandments from God. Moses was gone too long. The people became troubled and lost faith. They made a golden calf to worship. Moses comes down from the mountain carrying the tablets upon which God wrote the commandments. When he sees that the people are worshiping a false idol, he hurls the tablets, destroying the golden calf while the people flee from his anger. The Israelites wander in the wilderness for 40 years, their punishment for repeated sins against God. Moses delivers the people to the river Jordan, across which lies the land of milk and honey. On Mount Nebo, Moses gazes out over the promised land, a land God forbids him from entering. Moses dies on Mount Nebo. And Moses was 120 years old at his death. His eye was not dim, and his vitality had not fled.